We've all heard that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, right? Why not make your life easier and meal prep it? Today I'm sharing 5 easy grab-and-go breakfast ideas that are just perfect for busy mornings. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Taylor from The Girl on Bloor. I'm all about sharing easy meal prep strategies that you can save time, money, and stress. The breakfast recipes I'll be sharing with you today come together in around 40 minutes or less and will help you start your day filled with energy. We'll be meal prepping the famous Starbucks spinach feta wrap along with some 5-minute yogurt parfaits, broccoli cheddar baked eggs, chocolate avocado overnight oat jars, and freezer-friendly mini breakfast pizzas. If you're loving these meal prep breakfasts and want to learn more about how to prep ahead for the week and get organized, be sure to join my free 5-day meal prep challenge. It's got everything you need to kickstart your new healthy habit. I've linked to it in the description below, so sign up if you're ready to make a change. Okay, breakfast lovers, let's dive right in. Up first, we're making the popular Starbucks spinach feta wrap. I'm talking high-protein egg whites with some sauteed spinach, sun-dried tomatoes, and feta cheese, all wrapped up in a toasted whole wheat wrap. They come together super quickly, and you can even freeze them so that your future self is covered with delicious breakfast to power through super busy days. Okay, first up, you're going to make the sun-dried tomato cream cheese spread. Take half a cup of softened cream cheese and add it to a medium-sized bowl. You can either let it sit out on the counter for an hour or two to soften, or you can microwave it for 20 to 30 seconds to soften it if it's straight out of the fridge. You'll also finely mince 2 tablespoons of sun-dried tomatoes. Once your cream cheese is softened, you'll want to microwave for another 20 to 30 seconds just to make sure it's warm through and pliable. Then you'll mix in your sun-dried tomatoes, season with a little bit of salt and pepper, and just like that, you've got your spread. Once that's made, you're going to spray a large skillet with a little bit of cooking spray and then cook the spinach over medium-high heat for 1 to 2 minutes until wilted. Once that is cooked through, transfer the spinach to a plate or bowl and set aside. Now here's the trickiest part of the whole recipe, and that's making the egg white omelet. You can either use egg whites from the carton or you can use whole eggs and separate them. I find the taste is similar, so this is very much a personal choice. Now I just talked about being lazy most of the time, and I always want to speed up the cooking process, so I buy the kind in the carton, but if you're looking to use whole eggs, you can use 8 eggs and then separate them by cracking them and using the bowl to catch the egg whites as you strain the whites from the yolk. Save the yolks for another recipe or even just for another breakfast. Now, egg whites are definitely more finicky and are more likely to stick to any type of pan you're using, but we are going to avoid that today by using extra butter, like 2 tablespoons worth. For whatever reason, I find that butter helps keep eggs and egg whites from sticking to the pan a lot better than olive oil alone. So add your 2 tablespoons of butter to the same skillet that you sauteed the spinach in, and then add 1 cup of egg whites, seasoning with salt and pepper to taste, and keeping the heat at a nice medium-low. We're making an omelet here, so you want the egg whites to set in the pan, but you don't want the bottom to burn either, so you need to be careful with the heat. Once it starts to set and firm up, take a spatula and just run it along the edges of your omelet to see how it's doing and make sure that it isn't sticking to the bottom. When it's mostly set, but still a little bit watery, which should be after about 5 minutes or so, you can fold the omelet up into thirds using the spatula and then flip it over so it cooks on all sides and finishes cooking through. You'll then remove your egg white omelet and let it rest on a plate before slicing up into 5 pieces for the 5 wraps you're about to make. Now you're going to take a whole wheat wrap and spread just a little bit of your cream cheese spread on there. Top with your wilted spinach, then add a piece of egg white omelet. You'll want all of this to be slightly off center and leaning more towards one side of your wrap to make it easier to roll up. Add some feta cheese and sun-dried tomatoes over top of the egg white, and now it's time to roll. Tuck 2 ends of your wrap in and then push your ingredients towards you as you start to roll away from you. It's honestly so hard to describe the folding process, but hopefully I'm doing it justice. Now that everything is rolled up and tucked inside, you have one last step, and that is to toast your wrap for 1 to 2 minutes over medium-high heat in the same skillet that you've been using all of this time. I like to do all the wraps at once, so repeat the filling and folding process for all the wraps and then add them all to the skillet, toasting on either one side or both sides, whichever you prefer, and then you have breakfast set for the whole week. At this point, you can store them in the fridge for up to 5 or 6 days, or you can freeze them for up to 3 months. Either way, whether you are refrigerating or freezing, wrap each of them up in saran wrap just so that they don't stick together, and then keep them in a large freezer bag. If reheating from out of the fridge, you can microwave for 1 minute or reheat in a 350-degree oven for 5 minutes. If freezing, just take one out of the freezer one at a time and microwave for 2 minutes or reheat in a 350-degree oven for 10 minutes. As much as it kills me to have you turn on the oven and waste hydro for one wrap at a time, I do recommend the oven method as it toasts them and gets them crispy again. But one way around this is to use a toaster oven for those of you lucky enough to have one, or try reheating in a skillet for a few minutes. Phew, that was a lot of instructions. Thanks for bearing with me there. If you can't be bothered to remember everything I just fired off, I've got all of the freezing, storing, and reheating instructions on my blog, and I've linked to that in the description of this video, so head there for all the deets. When you're ready to wolf down your spinach feta wraps, you'll slice them in half and enjoy them warm and toasted. Oh my God, you guys, they are so good. I could eat them every single day of my life. I'm so obsessed. Okay, moving along, we're going to make my healthy meal prep yogurt parfaits. I love this recipe because it makes enough for 4 servings, it's easy enough to make in advance, and it's the perfect breakfast to enjoy on the go. What's also great about this recipe is that while you have your basic parfait components, you also have the freedom to get creative and use different ingredients if you'd like. The options are truly endless with this recipe. All right, get started by prepping your ingredients. Dice up 1 mango, then set aside half a cup of raspberries and half a cup of blueberries. Now grab your mason jars and layer in about 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt at the bottom of each jar. You can even use dairy-free yogurt or flavored yogurt if you prefer, but I find that you get more than enough sweetness from the granola and the berries. Once you've got your yogurt in there, layer in 1/4 cup of granola followed by the mixed fruit. Just divide all of the amounts you prepped before among the jars. If you're feeling really creative and have a little bit of extra time, you can even make your own homemade granola. I've linked to my favorite ever recipe for homemade granola in the description of this video. It's so addictive and way better than store-bought, so head on over to my site to learn how to make it. And there you have it, a super easy, delicious breakfast that you can prepare in advance for the week in just about 5 or 10 minutes. This is my go-to don't have time to meal prep recipe. These yogurt parfaits will stay fresh in the fridge for up to 5 days, but you should be warned that the granola may not stay as crisp as adding it fresh, so you may want to store the granola separately for the week and just make the yogurt and fruit jars with little containers of granola on the side. It all depends on how picky you are with your textures. All right, moving on to our next recipe. Now we're going to make broccoli cheddar baked eggs. I love this recipe because it comes together with very little prep, and these little bites are just filled with protein. Did I also mention that they're freezer friendly? Okay, start by preheating your oven to 350 degrees. While the oven warms up, chop up 1 head of broccoli into small pieces and grate 1 cup of cheddar cheese. If you're not a fan of broccoli, you can add any other veggies you'd like, such as bell peppers, mushrooms, spinach, asparagus, or carrots. You can also use any cheese you'd like or add a protein such as leftover ham, bacon, or sausage. While the oven is preheating, grease a muffin tray with 2 tablespoons of butter or nonstick spray. I find the silicone muffin trays to be a real game changer. Eggs and muffins stick way less, so you can avoid a massive amount of cleanup. I've linked to the trays that I use in the description below. Okay, now that you've got your tray greased, add it to a regular oven tray for some stability. Trust me, the last thing that you want is for egg to spill all over your oven, and then crack an egg into each muffin cup. Divide the chopped up broccoli and cheddar cheese among each cup, season with some salt and pepper, then place your muffin tray in the oven and let the magic begin. If you prefer semi-runny yolks, bake the eggs for 12 to 14 minutes, but if you prefer your yolks to be hard, bake the eggs for 18 minutes. I like to bake these eggs without whisking them up to keep the dishes to a minimum and reduce your prep, but you can always whisk the eggs in a large bowl with some salt and pepper and divide the mixture for a different version of egg cups. When the eggs are finished baking, take the tray out of the oven, serve, and enjoy. What's great about this recipe is that baked eggs can last in the refrigerator for up to 5 days in an airtight container. To reheat, simply place the container with individual servings in the microwave and cook on high for 1 to 2 minutes. If you want to freeze the baked eggs and enjoy them later on, then let them cool to room temperature after cooking and freeze in glass meal prep bowls or a large freezer bag. To reheat, simply microwave 2 of them at a time for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, moving on to our second last recipe, say hello to these chocolate avocado overnight oat jars. You'll think you're eating dessert for breakfast. Trust me. To begin, grab a large bowl and cut 1 ripe avocado in half. Remove the pit, then scoop the avocado into the bowl and mash until smooth. You can even use frozen avocado that has been defrosted for this recipe. I always keep a bag on hand in the freezer because it comes in handy for recipes like this. Once you've got your avocado mashed, mix in 2 cups of rolled oats and 2 cups of your favorite kind of milk. You can go with dairy or non-dairy here. I love using coconut milk for this recipe. Next, add in 1 cup of Greek yogurt. If you're looking for a vegan option, don't use any yogurt and just add an extra 3/4 of a cup of non-dairy milk, or you can try to find a vegan yogurt instead. Now mix in half a cup of cocoa powder, 1/4 cup of honey just for a touch of sweetness, and 2 tablespoons of chia seeds for some extra protein and fiber. Hemp hearts or ground flax are another great option here. Once the ingredients are mixed together, divide everything evenly among 4 mason jars and top with chopped up pistachios, shredded coconut, and chocolate chips. You can add as much or as little of the garnishes as you'd like. You can also customize your oats and try some other fillings like pumpkin seeds, fresh or dried fruit, nut butter, or even a scoop of protein powder. Once you've added all of your desired toppings, let your oats sit for at least 2 to 3 hours before enjoying. or let the oats sit overnight for the best results. When you're ready to enjoy your oats, just take your mason jar out of the fridge and enjoy it cold. I don't recommend reheating this recipe. Okay, 4 meal prep breakfasts down, 1 more to go. Our last breakfast idea are these freezer-friendly mini breakfast pizzas. This is the perfect grab-and-go breakfast. Simply pop one in the microwave and enjoy it on your way out the door. Okay, to start, preheat your oven to 375 degrees. While the oven is heating up, prep your pizza ingredients. Dice half of a red and yellow pepper and then slice up 2 green onions. If you're not a fan of green onions, chives would also work nicely. You'll also grate 1 cup of shredded cheese. You can use your favorite variety, but cheddar, mozzarella, and provolone are all great choices. To save time, you can also buy pre-shredded cheese. I find that it just doesn't melt as nicely, so you'll want to make a decision about that. Now in a large skillet, heat up 1 teaspoon of olive oil over medium-high heat, then add 1 package of breakfast sausages. I prefer to use turkey breakfast sausages for this recipe. The Lilydale brand is becoming more common where I live in Toronto, and I love my local grocery store's maple version. I get them at Longo's, which is a grocery store in southern Ontario. Cook the sausages for about 8 to 10 minutes or until fully cooked, then remove from heat. Now slice 6 English muffins in half and add some pizza sauce and shredded cheese. Finish off with your diced peppers. By now your sausages should have cooled down, so slice them into small pieces and add to the English muffins. Place your mini pizzas on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper and bake in the oven for 10 minutes. While everything cooks, you can mix together 3 eggs and season with salt and pepper in a medium-sized bowl. Now add 1 tablespoon of either olive oil or butter to the skillet and scramble the eggs for a minute or so until fully cooked. Immediately transfer them to a plate so they stop cooking. At this point, your pizzas should be coming out of the oven, so all you need to do is top with the scrambled eggs and green onions, then serve and enjoy. If you plan to eat your pizzas within 3 to 4 days, you can store them in an airtight container in your fridge. But if you want to keep them for longer, you can freeze them. Be sure to wrap each pizza individually in plastic wrap, then store the wrapped pizzas together in a large freezer bag. Just make sure that the breakfast pizzas are cool before you wrap them. Reheating is simple. You can reheat the pizzas in either the microwave or a toaster oven for a couple minutes or until everything is heated through. Or you can place the pizzas onto a baking sheet and reheat in the oven at 350 degrees for 10 minutes or so. All right, guys, now you know 5 new healthy breakfast ideas that I hope you can prepare in advance so that you enjoy a super chill work week. Just grab a serving, then head out the door. Whether you work from home or head into the office, these ideas will save you during your busiest weeks. If you are loving these easy breakfast meal prep ideas and want to learn more about how to prep ahead for the week, be sure to join my free 5-day meal prep challenge that is linked to in the description below. It'll help you get more organized so you're never scrambling for work week meals ever again. Now that you know how to make these quick and easy breakfast ideas, I need to know which one of these recipes you're going to try first. Be sure to comment below with your favorite and tag me on Instagram at @thegirlonblower if you end up trying any of them. And if you've been finding my videos helpful, please send my channel to a friend or family member who needs meal prep in their life. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out in my kitchen today. I will see you in my next video.